Hey everybody, and welcome back to my mommy channel made for moms by a mom. And before we get this video started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell button that's next to it so that you can join the mommy club and never miss post from the mommy club, because it's awesome, all of it. Okay, I haven't seen you guys in like a month since I posted the video about the essentials for going to the zoo. I'll link that video below so that you can watch it, because I thought it was pretty informative if I say so myself. I realized that a long time ago I made a because I had already had my daughter when I started this channel, but I made a labor and delivery story. It was so long, but I'll leave it down below. It went through pretty much everything, and then I did a separate story time on my epidural. I'll leave that down below too so you can watch it. So in this video I'm gonna do a story time about I hope that the air is not bothering you. I'm in my car and there's it's hot outside, so I have to keep the air on. I don't want to melt in here. So what was I saying? Oh, I'm gonna do a story time now about my cesarean. So in case you didn't know, I had a C-section. So I didn't really talk in detail about that, and I know it's been a little over a year since my daughter was born, but I still remember like it was yesterday. I hear people all the time saying, hey, you're not gonna remember any of this. Bull crap. Okay, it's a family channel, I'm not gonna cuss. Bull crap. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I remember that pain like it was yesterday. Okay, yesterday I remember that pain. I remember everything. I'm not gonna forget. What? Who said you forget everything? No, I remember. So let me tell you the story about my cesarean. So I'm just gonna speed through the beginning stuff. I came in the hospital on June 29th. I believe it was a Friday. Wait. Yeah, June 29th. My daughter was born on the 1st. So, I came in on a Friday, June 29th. I had to be induced, okay? They wanted to make sure I had gestational diabetes. I will link the playlist below on information about that, because I did a whole little mini series on gestational diabetes. I'll put it below. I had gestational diabetes, and the doctors, my daughter also was born with VSD. I'm going to do a video all about that. But you can Google it if you like. It might be scary. My daughter's VSD is not that serious. It's not as bad as what you may find on Google, but you can Google it. Anyway, so because of those two things, and the doctor's office that I picked was the best children's cardiologist, so I lived an hour away from the hospital that I was going to deliver in. So they were like, let's induce you. 1, the diabetes. 2, the bed, you live far. And 3, the VSD. We want to make sure a doctor's there to make sure she's all right when she comes out. Well, I didn't know the gender, but now that I do, I'm gonna say she, but I didn't know the gender at the time. So I get to the hospital. They were like, eat, before you come. So I ate breakfast, and I got there, and I guess they called me when I was on the way, but I didn't see the call, and they were like, yeah, we're not prepared for you, so we were trying to tell you not to come. And I was like, well, I didn't see that message, and I'm already here, so I'm not going back home. They're like, oh, okay. So they were like, let's try to get your room, because I had made like an appointment, to be there, right? So they were like, let's go get something to eat, and we'll figure it out. So I was like, cool. So I went down to go get something to eat, you know what I'm saying? I got some Subway, chips, soda, everything that I couldn't eat, because when I found out about that, I put myself on a strict diet so my sugar levels wouldn't go up and endanger me and my child. Because if you have gestational diabetes, the baby could get real big, sugar level get too high, just it's too much, girl. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna eat what I want. Like, it was like last meal, because I was gonna be able to eat until after I gave birth. So it was like last meal kind of a thing. So I go eat, and I didn't know that they were gonna keep pricking my finger and checking my sugar the entire time I was in there. I wish they would have told me that, because I was eating cookies, soda, my sugar was up. I'm like, y'all didn't tell me y'all gonna check my sugar. And then they did check it, and then I thought they weren't gonna check it anymore, but they would check it every 2 hours. They prick my finger and check, and I'm like, damn, like I had soda again. It was crazy. Anyway, so I was going to be induced. I got in the room, okay? So Friday and Saturday, they tried everything under the sun to get the labor going. I got there in the morning, and I was just in the hospital all day. They finally started to induce me, like get the stuff that would induce me at like 4 p.m. on Friday, right? My daughter wasn't born till 9 p.m. So on July 1st, which was a Sunday. So that means that from 4 p.m. on Friday up until like 7 p.m. on Sunday, they were trying everything to get me into labor. They put some pills up my boop boop, and that was supposed to soften the cervix and get it going. That never happened. And then they came back, I think, and tried again or something, some hours later. The timetables is all messed up, but it didn't work. Then, okay, the worst part, they shoved a balloon up my, okay, this balloon, and they shove it all the way up there, all the way up to your cervix, and they blow the balloon up while it's inside of you. You're supposed to widen that puppy, and get it open so the baby can come down. Okay, I had the ball, you put the ball in between your legs, and it's supposed to cock your legs open, and I got Pitocin and other things in my IV. Nothing was working. The last thing they did, though, was the Pitocin. I was supposed to get the Pitocin, which is this medication that, like, starts your labor. So really what they're doing is putting this stuff in you that your body would do naturally. So you're trying to make your body have the baby instead of waiting. So when you get induced, it takes you a while because, one, this was my first kid, and two, you're trying to force the body to like give birth. So, and the body's not ready, you know what I'm saying? So, I had contractions the entire time. But the contractions were strong, but I wasn't dilating at all. So I want to say on like Saturday night, they talked about giving me a C-section, and my mom was like, oh no. So I wanted to, because I was exhausted at this point. I was in pain. I had, I didn't get the epidural till, I want to say Saturday night or Sunday. I might have got it Sunday, a few hours before I gave birth. So I can't really remember the times, but I was in pain the entire time. Like, I was trying to thug it out. Girl, listen, if they offer you the epidural and you can't take the pain, go ahead and take the don't be a hero, okay? Don't be a hero. So I can do this. Don't be a hero, okay? So they did break my water. My water never broke, so they had to break it. And then they were thinking that was going to help. Then they gave me the Pitocin, and so then my contractions started really coming, but no baby was coming out. And then at one point, I felt the urge to push. And they had told me on Sunday around 5 o'clock, I think it was, okay, I think it'll be time to push around 5 o'clock. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. But they were checking my cervix, and I think I didn't really start to dilate until about Saturday, because I was at like 1, and then I think I was at like 5 for a little while. You need to be 10 centimeters dilated, by the way. I think I got to 6 or 7 on Sunday, and that was pretty much it. And I could feel like she was coming. So I was like, I told them, I said, I have an urge to push. And they were like, don't do it. And I was like, I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I want to push. They weren't listening to me, so I just started like pushing. And my mom was like, what are you doing? I was just laying there like, you know. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I have to push. I don't know. So they ran and called the doctor. The doctor felt, and she could feel the baby's head. Like, my daughter's head was right there, but something was blocking her. And then they were saying she was sunny side up, which means her face was facing up to the ceiling, and it's really supposed to be turned over, and her head's supposed to be facing down. So they went in with both hands. I didn't know our vaginas got this big. I hope I can say vagina. Said it twice. Excuse me. Put the hand in there, and they turned her little body the other way. That hurt, okay? Painful. My whole epidural wore off when they was getting up in there. So I kept having to like take higher dosages. And then I kept getting this pain in my leg. I was just so uncomfortable. The doctor comes in and she was like, you know, I could feel the baby's head right there. Something's blocking the baby out. We don't want to we don't want any problems, basically. So, and you're exhausted. You've been here all this time and still no baby. I think it's time for us to do the C-section. And my mom was like, no. And I'm like, no, Ma, because I let her the first time talk me out of it. I said, let's go right now. I'm tired. Get this baby out of me. Okay? I want to go to sleep. I'm tired. I'm in pain. I can't do this anymore. Get her. Like I said, I didn't know the gender at the time. So they prep me, you know. They shave you, right? And they rub some stuff all over you, and I had to drink some citrusy stuff. I don't know what it was for, but I had to drink it. And then the epidural people come in, and they start loading me up with epidural because, by the way, you are awake for your cesarean. You're not asleep, you're up. So they have to numb you from the waist down. So they add a bunch of epidural, and they just kept saying, you know, when you can't feel your feet, let us know. So they were like poking me in the toes and stuff. So finally, we roll in there, and it's a bunch of doctors in there, and they're like talking to me and stuff. And I had my little oxygen mask on. My husband got dressed all in the blue thing, and everything was on. You look like a little onesie with the hat on, and I had one of those things on, and it can only be one person in the room when you do that, and they put the thing up and you can't see anything, you know. But my husband kept standing up looking over. I don't know what he saw, but it was probably gross. So I'm numb, you know, right? But I've never been awake for a surgery, so it was kind of nerve-wracking, but I wanted to stay calm so I didn't freak out, run my pressure up or anything like that and endanger the baby. So I stayed calm. And then they were like, okay, we're just gonna get you prepped. Now, here's the thing. I couldn't feel anything, okay? I felt nothing. But you know, you can feel like somebody's touching you. It's so weird. I can't explain it. I can't feel that you're touching me, but I know that you are. Like, I could feel them doing things to me, but I couldn't feel it. Does that make sense? Like I could feel them cutting me, you know, down there, and my body was shaking all around and stuff. And I was like, oh, they're cutting me. So I could feel that, but I couldn't feel the sensation of the cut. I couldn't feel any pain or anything, but I knew that I was being cut open and stuff was happening, and it felt like forever. And the doctor was really nice. She had everybody introduce themselves to me, and then she was like, oh, the parents don't know the sex of the baby, so do not ruin it at all. It's a surprise. The dad's gonna say, he's gonna pick his flavor. He's gonna tell us what his flavor is, whatever. So I'm in there, And she seems like forever. So finally I hear the doctor say, "Hi, we've been waiting for you." So I got excited, my heart's pounding, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the baby's here finally. And then she lifts the baby up and she goes, "Dad, what's the flavor?" And he's like, "It's a girl." So we both started crying, and I didn't see her. And then they rolled her out of the room. I didn't see her face. I didn't see her at all. And then as soon as the doctor was like, "Okay, we're going to close you up," I started getting more anxious because I wanted to hold my baby and I wanted to be out of this operation room. And then I hear the doctor say, "Oh my God, what is that?"